Hi, it's Alex Counts again. I hope you enjoyed my 5-part series on major donor fundraising, which was done so well in terms of editing and producing every Wednesday morning for 5 weeks by Meg Lanthier, my intern this summer. Now we're going to turn to nonprofit governance, how boards of directors and boards of trustees can function and play their best possible role in making nonprofits deliver on their mission. The reality is, if you look at the state of nonprofit governance today, I tend to think that most boards are some version or other of dysfunctional. In fact, when I would give a talk when I was promoting this book, and I'm still promoting this book, Changing the World Without Losing Your Mind, I would often say my unscientific survey and feeling is that about 80% of nonprofit boards are dysfunctional, and I would ask people if they disagreed and to hold up their hands, and then I would talk to them afterwards to see if, why they thought my estimate was so extreme and critical, and they tended to say they thought 80% was too low a figure. So that was people that have been involved in nonprofit boards. Most of them, I think you know what I mean. So what does dysfunction look like at a board? I think there are basically 3 variations. One is a board that is a kind of a rubber stamp board that is expected to not really challenge the CEO or the management. It may be the culture of the board is that they're just there to cheerlead for the executive and affirm him or her and the management team, and never to raise hard questions and just to adopt everything they're put in front of them. Or sometimes they're just not asked to, they're kind of window dressing. They're not even asked to do that. They just are asked to approve and kind of move out so the management can get on what they're doing. And those boards tend to complain about being underutilized, and oftentimes people will leave unless there's some status or something they get from being on it, even though it's not really playing a meaningful role. Another is a board that micromanages the staff, that is always getting into their business, overstepping their roles as board members, questioning everything, sometimes even attacking in a kind of abusive and hostile way. By the way, it doesn't take an entire board to create a culture like that. Even 1 or 2 board members who are reflexively critical of everything management does. If other board members don't challenge that, it's effectively, it makes the whole process very unpleasant for the CEO, and they do everything to spend as little time as they can around the board. A little bit more benign version of dysfunction is what I call, really one of my mentors, Susan Davis, called the balkanized board. A board where basically people, some group are only concerned about one part of the organization, and they play as if they're a board of that part, but they don't pay attention to or take any responsibility for or try to support the other parts of the organization. And when you only have the CEO really owning the totality of the organization, how all the pieces fit together, when you run into a difficult period, that board, with no one taking ownership of the entire enterprise, can be a real problem. So what do you do? Well, over the next videos I'm going to release over the next few weeks, I'll tell you some of my best techniques that I've seen work. But let me just philosophically set the stage. The thing that most executive directors struggle with is that they see a board that's dysfunctional, and they want to kind of make it a high-functioning board really quickly. They read an article in the Stanford Social Innovation Review or something about it, and there's a lot of good literature about board management. But if you think you're going to turn a kind of a dysfunctional board to a high-functioning board in 90 days, forget it. It's really impossible. You want to materially bring your board to another place. Mark your calendar 3 to 5 years in the future, honestly. You'll see progress, but you won't get the full effect. It'll take a while. In fact, as one of my mentors said, if you want to build a great board, there are no shortcuts. You do it 1 good meeting, 1 good new member, 1 good agenda item at a time. And I came to believe he was absolutely right. The other thing that executive directors tend to do is they inherit a board, or maybe they build a board from themselves if they're a founder, and the board isn't measuring up to their expectations. And they say, well, I'll start to invest in the board. Spend a lot of quality time with them one-on-one, and as the group really work hard to have the meetings be excellent when they step up. When they step up financially, when they step up with their introductions to other potential supporters. And I think that's backwards. I think what you do is you try to treat the board you have as if they're already the board you want them to be. Treat them that exceptionally well. Have every contact they have with the organization be a really satisfying one for them. Or if it isn't, then you figure out what went wrong and you make amends, and then you get back on the right course. And treat everyone that way, not just the wealthy ones, but every single board member. And you'll see some changes coming in the first year, and that'll accelerate in the future years. So in the next couple of videos, I'll talk about these techniques to either start a board the right way, or if you inherit a board that's a kind of mediocre or low functioning board, how to gradually bring it to high function. And I look forward to going through that journey with you.